afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Nifty Banknifty live analysis. Now, what we see over here is the hourly chart of Nifty. One thing was very clear, which we saw even yesterday, a strong rally on the upside. And now, even in the morning, he's trying to inch on the higher side. The main idea over here is to also understand the prior resistance zone, which now Nifty is getting into, and which was also discussed yesterday's market commentary. So somewhere around 17,800 range, or you can say 750 to 800 range, where the resistance zone of Nifty basically starts, or you can say the prior selling zone basically starts. So technically this zone can become a strong reversal point, and we need to check out if the OI data also presents us the same data or not, and then only we can go out looking for reversal trade today in that zone. The other point to understand over here is also the upside is open towards 18,000 zone. So that is also one thing which we need to take care. Once the 17,800 range has been taken out, it can go to 18,000 as well. So let's go on the smaller time frame to understand how things have been moving right from the morning. So here we can clearly see that, okay, fine, there is resistance zone at the higher points, but morning when the sharp selling comes by, there was a strong buying which took place. Again, the selling happened, but again, strong buying is taking place. So one thing which is very, very certain over here, even after the selling pressure which is coming across at the point number one, point number two, we can clearly see the buying is still in place. So if you want to look for selling opportunity, it has to basically go into the red zone, plus the trend line is basically intact, and we need to look out for the reversal along the trend line to take the trade on the downside move. The other point over here, if the rise takes place into the resistance zone, and we need to focus if the OI data is also suggesting 17,800 zone to be a good resistance pointer, or maybe towards 850 or so, then we can look for strong selling or reversal in Nifty as of now. So if I try to push in the dynamic option data of today, let's see if we can get some clarity on that side. 6th of Jan, trying to take OTM option, 17,700 huge OI is there. So one thing is very important, that 17,700 and 17,600 some huge OI, but 17,700 is very, very high OI is there, and you can see 17,800 also is building around 38,000 of OI. So there is some resistance once the Nifty inch towards the higher side. Let's see in last 2 hours, is the resistance being built? Yes. So 10,000 people around 17,800, that clearly shows yes, some kind of resistance is there, but 17,700 is a huge OI built up for the support side. So still we see Nifty on a very strong foothold because of 17,700 OI. No doubt 17,800 will become a small dampener or a reversal point which is there, but in 1 hour, in 2 hour, we can clearly see 17,700 and 17,800. So one thing now is very much certain, 17,700 is the important pointer to note, right? So what I have pointed out over here is 17,700 zone where huge OI is there. That's number one. Number two, we know that the resistance is also there at 17,700 point. Now, one thing becomes very clear from this. If I try to go out and look for 17,700, 17,800 zone as my selling pointer, so I would like to go for sell in this area. When the prices tend to move on the higher side, we will try to look for a good reversal point over here. Okay, and then what can be your target would be on a smaller target note of 17,700. Okay, so because 17,700 is one of the strongest OI built which has happened. Now, other way around, which we need to also understand, that if you do not get this kind of trade, the other thing that can also happen is if it breaches 17,700. Now, it will take multiple kind of support, so to speak. So we can say it can come down, again will take some kind of support. A couple of times if it takes supports, makes new high, and then if it goes below the zone, I would also look to sell in the second half. Now that can also happen because many times market just kind of goes on the sluggish note, then it tries to make a new high, and once it tries to make a new high and then it breaches 17,700, there will be a sharp pull down to 17,600 very, very fast. So today we can get a chance of reversal, but no doubt 17,700 will become the key pointer today for Nifty. And if it inches higher, we can again get a reversal trade from 17,800 area towards the downside. So let's wait and watch how things progress, but both the pointers needs to be very, very clear how and when to take the trade on the reversal side. Going back now from Nifty to Bank Nifty. So let's see how Bank Nifty is doing. If Bank Nifty is weak, it can help us to push the Nifty on the downside. So on the hourly chart, one thing is very clear: sharp up move has happened back to back in Bank Nifty. Today also it has gone on the higher note. But one thing is important: the resistance zone of Bank Nifty is little far towards the 37,000 or 37,100 zone. So it has not inched into that resistance zone, technically speaking, and it is kind of becoming sluggish at the upper end. The second point, if I go on the lower time frame, trying to assess the information over here, which becomes very, very clear, going upside, trying to go sideways, comes back down again, trying to go up, again it's coming back down. So one thing which is very clear over here, which is around 36,800, this is a very important zone of resistance. So for us, 36,800, 900, 37,000, all this is zone of resistance. And what has happened over here, Nifty, Bank Nifty went down. It took support. It tried to inch on the higher side, but it was not able to go beyond 36,800. That's why 36,800 now becomes a very important pointer to note. Now, obviously, we'll check the OI part as well, whether the OI is also suggesting huge built up around this vicinity or not. And we can then see if we can take the reversal trade for a good risk reward on the downside. Now, if I see on the Bank Nifty side, there is 36,800 huge OI built up is there, where the stoppage is happening in Bank Nifty, and we can clearly see there is good support also on the lower end. So it's not that supports are not there at the lower end. 36,500, 700, 40,000, 50,000 contracts are there in terms of OI. On the higher end, so to speak, 36,900 and 37,000. So it is little far. 37,000 will become a good benchmark for selling. Around 900, 37,000, this zone will become a good benchmark. But if I see in the last 2 hours, I can clearly see 37,000 is the winner. So 37,000 and 36,800 are hugely important pointer for Bank Nifty. And that's why we have to be very careful now that 36,700 will be the most important point to understand. This is what we have marked over here, 700 to 800 zone. This will be the key zone to watch out for Bank Nifty. So how I can look out to trade from this 36,700 to 800 zone, where huge OI built up is there in the marked area, and a lot of selling pressure is being seen at the upper end from 36,800. Now we need to be very clear, even if it is inches on the higher side, we can look for a trend reversal over here in Bank Nifty as well. So it kind of has gone or kind of breaching on the lower side right now, but I would not like to go straight away over here because it is entering straight into the support zone, and plus there is OI, highest OI was also there around 36,700. So we will wait out for the bounce effect to take place, coming all the way towards the upside, and then it comes back down, taking the reversal bet around this vicinity for the downside. Now generally what happens over here when there are huge OI, it might go sluggish, might go sideways, but important is it should not breach 36,800. So if it breaches just by a whisker, trying to make a new high and then again comes down very, very fast, we can look for taking a sell trade on the downside, and once it breaches, it can go down very fast. Move can happen on the downside because of the max OI. So Bank Nifty is looking weak, but structurally, if you see Bank Nifty gives you a downside move, Bank Nifty, then Nifty will go down much faster compared to Bank Nifty, because Nifty has gone up, made new highs, but here Bank Nifty has gone sideways. So no doubt Bank Nifty can become a dampener. That's number one. It has to sustain below 36,700 for a downside of at least 200 points. And the most important point over here, in the case of Nifty, Bank Nifty does not make new high. The most important thing is Nifty will give you a good slide on the downside. So let's wait and watch. If it makes a new high, gets into this zone, and then it gets a reversal in any of the cases of Nifty, Bank Nifty, we can go for the trade. Now both the point Nifty 17,700 is important zone, and even for Bank Nifty, so to speak, the current zone, current place where the Bank Nifty is trading 36,700 to 800, this is also important zone. Normally when there are huge OI, you should not go out and take these trades. The reason is it can move either up or down very violently. So it's always better to let the structure get developed around the zone. When it sustains below this, then you can go for the sell trade, and same thing can be applied for Nifty as well. So we are looking out for reversals, but not at the current junctures because the downside might get limited. We want it to go and make new high. Once it makes new high, then we can look for quick reversal from the top. So that's it for today. Thank you for joining in. We connect again tomorrow. Kindly like and subscribe and do share it with your